Talking about Tyson Fury, I don't want to talk about the speculation of when the fight will be, where the fight will be, and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to ask you, do you think this fight has always been destined? Do you think it's always been building up to this moment?
Yeah, but they offered me this fight with Prenga. I said, yeah, and they also said, well, if you beat Prenga, you get the Tyson Fury fight. And I said, what? That's a big carrot to dangle in front of my face. So yeah, now we're here. I don't see it as the biggest challenge of my career, but I don't see it as a tune-up fight either. It's a fight. You gotta believe in yourself, man. I'm working hard. I've got to say what I feel. I want to win. I wanna do what I'm supposed to do. So it's nothing personal against Prenga. It could be anyone. It's not a warm-up fight. It's someone I really want to beat. I want to do it in good fashion as well. I want to go in there and showcase my skills. That's what this camp's about, is improving my skills. I want to go in there and show how good I am.
Inside a grueling training camp, Anthony Joshua finally opens up about why Kristian Prenga stands in his way and what he really thinks about a long-awaited showdown with Tyson Fury.
That's a big carrot to dangle in front of my face. So yeah, now we're here. That's why you can see I'm putting in a lot of work. I'm not underestimating Prenga, but I know, like, I want to get to the top of the food chain, innit? And I've got to go through Prenga, I've got to go through Fury. So I'm like working for like the big picture. I'm not just gonna like work for Fury once I get past Prenga. I'm working for the big dogs today. I've got big dreams, innit? So yeah, I want Fury. I want the Fury fight, and I'm working towards that now.
It's not in the script, but I would kick myself if I didn't ask you, what are those dreams? You said you've got big dreams.
Well,
what
my dreams is like to improve as a fighter, stay injury-free, stay away from haters.
Working under Usyk's guidance, Joshua says training has reached another level as he sharpens new techniques, builds confidence, and prepares himself for the toughest challenges still waiting ahead.
Everything's good. Coming to the Lions Den and seeing what my life's about, man. For the last 10 years, this is what I've been doing.
And something actually that we saw that I wasn't expecting to see was the memory stuff as well. That was quite insightful.
Oh, during the workout?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quite unique in their approach. It's not basic. It's all this high-tech stuff. Some people don't believe in it, but I actually think that it's good, because boxing, due to the trauma to the brain, you want to kind of keep your mind active, keep it switched on. After you've taken like a few punches in sparring, it's good to kind of reactivate those neurons that have been switched off due to impact. I think that's what he's doing. It sounds about right. So whatever he tells me to do, head down and get on with the work.
Joshua insists the Fury fight is impossible to avoid, claiming the rivalry began long before they turned professional, and now he believes the time has come to settle it.
I hadn't even turned pro, and Dylan White was on my back. So imagine I'm still an amateur, and they're saying, when Anthony Joshua turns pro, we're gonna smoke him. Then when I turned pro, I got Tyson Fury hating on me, talking a whole load of shit. He's this, he's that, he can't box. So for sure, these people have been on my back, because I watched the up and coming heavyweights, and they don't have people, they don't have like the hate that I had. They don't have like the pressures that I had. I'm not worrying about these guys up and coming. I'm worrying about the top dogs, but the top dogs at the time were like onto me. So the fight with the top dogs was inevitable, for sure, because they've always wanted it, and I've always been working my way up the ladder.
Meanwhile, Fury is facing heavy criticism from parts of the boxing world after agreeing to fight Wok in Thailand, with many blasting the bout for mainly being nothing more than a charity payday.
That Tyson Fury is going to be fighting 147-year-old Marius Wak, a fellow that's been beaten by a rug by everybody. Spencer, what good news that was. Where is it, and what's it all about, Spencer?
It's in Phuket, it's in Thailand. It's on July the 24th, a day before Anthony Joshua boxes Prenga.
Prenga, yeah.
Strategic, some would say. But yeah, it's just a run out, and it's literally just that. And I think that he's donating all proceeds to the local orphanage out there as well. So yeah, it's
couldn't donate the proceeds to an orphanage in England, right, where we just have just as many challenges.
No, he's got ties over there.
He's a Sisters of the World, back, you know. Absolutely.
Speaking on the situation, Johnny Nelson calls it an exhibition, saying Fury is not getting paid. The event will not be televised, but it still points toward a future showdown with Joshua.
The Trade Descriptions Act posing as a fight. But what's your thought?
I don't think it's not a fight, it's an exhibition.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is, and again, he's not getting paid for it. And in my head, I just think he knows he was going to get flack for this opponent. He knows it was, and it's just a run out. He's got to take the stick. He's still got to take the flack. The problem is this: if he goes into fight and gets rid of him straight away, none of this has been worth it at all. So the point of doing this is for him to get out and prepare for the Adrian fight that's supposed to happen after this. So if he goes there, gets rid of it, done. You can watch it online if you pay £10, £100 or whatever. You can watch it online. But
Somebody paid me
it's for the Netflix series, though, isn't it? At Home with the Furies. That's what they're doing it for. I don't think you can watch it online.
No, you can if you can tune it and get it online if you donate towards it.
Still, every tune-up fight and exhibition seems to be building toward one moment, Joshua versus Fury. As debate grows over where the blockbuster should happen, Simon Jordan points to Turkey's own comments, insisting the man who can truly deliver the fight in the United Kingdom is Turkey, not Eddie Hearn. According to Jordan, if it happens, the biggest stage for British boxing should be right at home.
We were discussing it the other day, and Eddie was giving us a load of old flannel about the idea that he has control of the destiny of where this is going because contractually he's in that position.
Yeah.
But this guy will determine where it goes. Now, it's his view is potentially it should be in the UK. My view, it should be in the UK because it's a UK fight, and it's almost a travesty. You'd see no other country in the world seeing its two leading fighters of a generation fighting in a different country. Yeah. And given the fact that neither one of them, Fury might have an audience in the States, but Anthony doesn't really, because his one opportunity to have one was taken away from him by the loss to Anthony Ruiz. So I look at this and go, it should be in the UK. Turkey has run many fights without the commercial value behind them. So the idea that he needs to monetize this fight, whatever it is costing him to be able to put this fight on, he's not going to get back because the scale of the fight won't justify it.
According to Turkey, the plan is to stage the fight late at night in the United Kingdom, but Jordan believes local boxing authorities would never approve that schedule. Because of those hurdles, he expects the showdown to land in either the United States or Saudi Arabia. Yet Nelson offers a serious warning, reminding both Joshua and Fury to stay focused on their current opponents, because one upset could destroy everything.
Where do you think, Spence, this is likely to land? Because I think it will land in the US or in Saudi. I don't think it lands in the UK. I don't think it's reasonable to suggest that we're going to open Wembley Stadium at 1 o'clock in the morning because the local police are going to go full for multiply. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
So with all that in mind, what's your take?
With you, I think it lands in the US or in Saudi. I think that both fighters want it in the UK. I think that is where it is, but because they want that global audience, and whether people like it or not, it's still the biggest fight in boxing right now. And I think that's the idea. That's the.
Is it?
Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Because can you imagine going in November, whenever it is, you're stood up in the nosebleeds, you're sat in the nosebleed seat, it's banging down with rain, and you beg, we want this fight in the UK.
Joining the debate, Carl Fracas says both Joshua and Fury are letting their loyal fans down by taking fights against opponents he believes pose little threat. In his view, these are comfortable wins that do nothing to prepare them for each other. Instead, Frosh argues they should have faced proven names like Andy Ruiz Jr. or Jarrell Miller, giving themselves a genuine test before stepping into the biggest fight of their careers.
Or they get injured, or they get bloody beat, which could happen. Let's not forget, we don't know what's left of Anthony Joshua, and Tyson Fury slowing down lows. This is why I've said this fight's well past its best, but it's still a spectacle. We do still want to see it, but these two guys are fighting nobodies. It would have been nice to see him in there with an Andy Ruiz. I mean, Tyson Fury making a statement against Andy Ruiz, or somebody like Dylan White or Jarrell Miller. You know, if these two fighters, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, would have actually taken a bit of a name, just to make you think, oh, that's interesting, or let's see what sort of a job he makes of them. But they're in against nobodies. It's going to just be a foregone conclusion what happens. 2 wins, 2 easy wins, and no one really cares what happens in the fight or how the fight goes. All they care about is Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury.
Even as Joshua and Fury continue explaining why these warm-up fights are necessary, Frosh refuses to change his stance. He believes both are taking easy opponents they know they can beat, delaying the biggest fight in British boxing for no good reason. Frosh questions what either man is actually proving and insists the best way forward is simple: stop waiting and face each other now.
You've been promised it's going to happen late this year, maybe November, so we'll have to look forward to that. But these two fights, really, I'm not really interested. I just think it's a load of shit, to be honest. I've got to be honest. These two fighting in warm-up fights before they fight each other at this time of the career, this time of their lives, when they're both past it, I just think they should be jumping in with each other and getting on with it. It's a massive fight, one we're all going to look forward to. Now we've just got to wait for this crap to happen before they actually finally come together. Just to finish on Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, their fight I mean, we talked previously about it maybe happening in the States, which I said is terrible for the British fans. It's out of order. It's an all-British affair. Potentially, arguably, and it is an argument, is it the biggest fight in British boxing history? Whether it is or not, it's certainly in the top 3. So it's a big one.
Taking things a step further, Frush also aims his criticism at Turkey, calling the idea of a late-night United Kingdom event completely unrealistic. He believes too much attention is being given to American viewers, even though the fight is expected to stream on Netflix. Despite regularly criticizing both Joshua and Fury, Frush still believes this is one of the 3 biggest fights in boxing history and insists it belongs in the United Kingdom.
And it should be on British soil. Turki Al-Sheikh has recently just come out and said that he's applying to the Mayor of London. Don't get me fucking started on the Mayor of London, whatever you do. But he's applying to him to get this fight on at 4 in the morning to accommodate for American TV. Why are they accommodating for American TV? It's going to be on Netflix, isn't it, this fight? It's going to be on Netflix. So I don't know why they're worried too much about the American audience. The British fight, 2 British fighters. Everyone's excited about these 2 coming together and getting it on. It needs to be on British soil, Wembley Stadium, Tottenham Hotspurs, wherever, at a reasonable hour, 10 o'clock. In the middle of November, it's going to be freezing cold. We don't mind being cold at 10, 11 o'clock, but not 4 in the fucking morning. It's taking a piss. I mean, come on, what is going on?
While Joshua's fight with Prenga has raised questions, Fury's bout is facing even heavier criticism. Wally Downs Jr. says he cannot understand why Fury needs this fight, pointing out that Wash's most recent appearance came in an MMA cage against influencers. To him, it hardly resembles a real boxing contest. Downs also questions why Fury is asking fans for donations on Instagram, despite already earning millions.
He's 46 years old, he's a lovely man, big tough man, but I've been aware of Mariusz Vach all my career. It's not a boxing match. There's a reason no one's broadcasting it. It's not right. I don't understand the need for it. If Tyson wants to do another camp, his spars will be better than boxing Mariusz Vach. If you look into Mariusz Vach, his last fight was in an MMA cage where he beat up 3 influencers all in one. And I'm not being disrespectful to Mariusz Vach. What a tough, strong man. But I don't understand. Tyson should fight him. If he wants to do a fight, another camp, and sell some tickets, fight Dave Allen.
Is it because he's doing it to give money to the charities?
Tyson's got £300 million in the bank. I don't understand why he's going on Instagram and asking fans to donate.
Reacting to the situation, Dave Allen admits he is worried the long-awaited clash between Joshua and Fury may never happen. While he understands Joshua choosing Prenga because of his punching power, Allen sees little value in Fury facing Watch. He says the matchup simply does not make sense, leaving many fans wondering why it was made and whether the dream fight is now slipping further away.
We are delighted to be joined in the studio today by one of the most popular men in boxing. It is the White Rhino, David Allen.
I thought she was going to
And Molly. David, how are you?
Oh, fantastic.
I introduced you as David, even though you're Dave on there, because I know that you prefer David, don't you?
I prefer the woman in my life to call me David.
What would you like me to call you?
Call me Dave if you want, yeah.
Would it throw you off if I called you David then, if you only like women?
Not really. I think my dad would call me David.
A lot of heat is coming from Turkey's plan to stage the fight in the United Kingdom on a US-friendly schedule has sparked a backlash. Wally Downs Jr. argues American fans no longer care about boxing the way British fans do. He believes Joshua has never truly been embraced in America after the Andy Ruiz Jr. loss, while Fury receives opportunities regardless. To Downs, taking this fight away from British fans would be a disgrace.
It just means there won't be the rain or whatever. But
if there was an American boxing to appeal back there, but, I've been to America for fights and they think AJ's rubbish because of the Ruiz fight and they're probably a bit bored of Tyson because he hasn't boxed over there for years. That to me, it's great to have it at Wembley. I still don't think it will happen there because of, neither of them lives in this country, so their tax to box here will be massive money. But to put it on in the UK for a US time zone would be insane to me. Imagine how drunk everyone would be. It'd be a disaster. I don't think the police would stand for it or the council. But what American fan is going to? Americans don't like boxing anymore, let alone 2 English blokes boxing.
Entering the conversation, Eddie Hearn reveals discussions with Turkey over the venue are still ongoing. Hearn remains firm that the contractual agreement clearly favors Wembley Stadium in the United Kingdom, warning there could be consequences if those terms are ignored. For now, the long-awaited showdown between Joshua and Fury appears to be hanging by a thread, with plenty of claims but still no official confirmation.
Kind of hold the keys in that respect because our contract clearly states the fight must take place in the UK. Right. And that was a condition that AJ wanted in the contract, I wanted, and that's where we want and expect the fight to take place.
Yeah.
I also understand that Netflix and Turkey Sheikh are paying a lot of money for the fight, and they want the biggest audience possible. Basically, when you do a fight at what would be 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. Eastern time and 1 p.m. West Coast on a Saturday in America, it really limits the audience because you're kind of caught up around kind of like college football and a plethora of other sports that exist in America. So Turkey Sheikh kind of come to us and said, look, maybe we could do the fight in America and we could do it at 9.
Hearn says they are not completely against Turkey's vision and believes a compromise can still be reached. Even if the fight takes place in the United Kingdom on a United States-friendly schedule, he expects fans to fill the stadium. At the same time, Hearn stresses that business also plays a major role, with Turkey and Netflix investing together, meaning the final decision is no longer Turkey's alone.
In the UK and you know, so forth. So he's kind of trying to come up with a solution of trying to do the fight a little bit later in the UK, but also to cater for the American audience, because ultimately they need the biggest audience possible for the money that they're paying. It's not rocket science. The fan doesn't really care about that, and that's fine as well, but the business cares about that.
Yeah.
As long as the fight's in the UK, obviously I'd prefer it at 11 p.m. like everybody would. If it's at 2 a.m. in the UK, does it really matter? Like, you know, we're all going to go, we're all going to have a great night, but we still get the biggest fight of all time in our country, which is really important, I think.
Yeah.
Adding to that, Hearn explains why he believes Prenga is a dangerous opponent, pointing to his experience, record, and proven boxing ability. He also says Joshua looks completely focused in camp. More importantly, Joshua is not speaking as if Prenga is the final destination. His message is clear. He wants every top heavyweight, whether it is Fury or anyone else, showing just how ready and confident he feels this time around.
This fight won't be easy. Like, you're in with a guy who I don't think's an elite world level guy. I think he's a kind of fringe world level heavyweight, but you don't really know a lot about him. He can punch. He's a big lump, and they're going, bloody hell, I could win this fight. If I beat AJ, I'll fight Tyson Fury. You know, so there's a huge amount of pressure, but he's once again giving himself every chance. And although he's probably mentally had to come through a lot, there's a real focus. And now he's talking about Prenga, Fury, world heavyweight title. Normally he just says Prenga, like that's the only thing. He's actually, he's super focused right now.
I've actually done interviews with him, and I like I say, because I know him on a personal.
Sharing his view, Spencer Oliver says Fury is facing an opponent who simply is not at the same level, pointing out that Watch has already been beaten by Fraser Clark and dropped by Moses Itama. Oliver believes the timing is no coincidence, with Fury trying to stay as close as possible to Joshua's schedule. Hearn also reveals there were earlier plans for Fury's next fight that, in his opinion, would have made far more sense.
You know, we're talking about a guy that lost to Fraser Clark. We're talking about a guy that got blown away by Moses Itama. But I get what they're doing, because it's like a tick over fight and they want to be as close to it as possible because of what's on the line with AJ and Fury, because it's legacy, right?
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but I said last night in an interview with Coogan, I was like, knowing Fury, I think that he was going to fight on that Dublin undercard, which was always the plan. They wanted him to fight, I think it was Damien Hisa, who was another Albanian fighter, and you know, he's a bit old, but he's quite Nelson Heights, not Damien.
Yeah.
But he's a little bit of a handful. Fury would beat him easy, but it's probably a little bit.
On the other hand, Joshua is also receiving criticism for facing Prenga. Simon Jordan believes the matchup is mainly driven by financial motives. He argues that even Joshua versus Fury no longer excites him because both fighters are past their prime. In his view, this showdown has become a race to the bank for promoters in Turkey, rather than a fight built purely around legacy and competition.
So you put him in with a low-risk opponent. Now, I know the guy's got a record of knocking 21 or 20 of the 21 fighters out that he's fought, but none of them have any of the caliber of Anthony Joshua, so this should be a formality for Anthony Joshua. He's been Machiavellian about Tyson Fury and who Tyson Fury should fight. The original agreement, I understand, was that they were going to fight at the end of September. Anthony taking a fight in July means that in order for them to fight again, probably means in November, middle of November. So that means that Tyson Fury has to be out of the ring for 7-8 months in preparation for the battle of egos, the legacy fight. No, there's no fight about this. This is the race to the bank, right? This is about two fighters that are both past their best, that are not fighting for world titles anymore, are fighting for huge financial returns.
Reflecting on the situation, Jordan recalls Joshua previously suggesting Fury should face names like Fabio Wardley or others. However, he believes it is unfair for Joshua to demand elite opponents for Fury, while choosing a fighter like Prenga himself. In Jordan's opinion, expecting Fury to fight Moses Ituma or Wardley at this stage creates a double standard, and he admits he has little interest in watching either man now.
He then alludes to the fact, in a Machiavellian way, that Tyson Fury should be fighting Moses Ituma or Fabio Wardley when he's fighting an Albanian doorman is probably slightly mischievous on his part.
Whose return to the ring excites you more, Joshua's or Fury's?
Neither, really. I understand the value of this fight, and I'm not going to be a miserable sod and say that I wouldn't watch it or go to it, because whilst I have no interest in engaging or actually talking about Tyson Fury, I recognise the game that we're in, right? And the fact that they're fighting this fight, in most people's minds, will captivate a great audience. They won't be doing it for small amounts of money, so the economics for them are the driving factor.
Yeah.
According to Jordan, he would rather watch Fabio Wardley face Daniel Dubois in a rematch or see other hidden contenders finally get their chance. He believes the constant distractions around Joshua versus Fury, including doubts over the venue and warm-up fights, have turned the dream matchup into a joke. For Jordan, this situation represents everything wrong with boxing right now, and a major disappointment for fans.
I'm more interested in watching Fabio Wardley to see if he can re-emerge again and come out from the circumstances with Daniel Dubois. I'm more interested in watching Daniel Dubois fight maybe Ajit Kabiel. I'm more interested in watching Ajit Kabiel fighting Alexander Usyk. I'm more interested in watching Moses Ituma fight Filip Hrgovic, because I think they are with real jeopardy and intentions. This is about us watching, with respect, and I don't have any begrudging of top athletes making lots of money, watching two guys make a ton of money on the back of what they once were before. And fair play to them. If the market pays that, and that's what the Saudis want to pay, and the audience figures are going to be enormous, and the intrigue will be there for the punters. But you're asking me.
As far as Hearn is concerned, the decision to face Prenga is calculated, but still a difficult challenge that will properly prepare Joshua. He believes they cannot afford a loss in a fight like this because a defeat would completely destroy the Fury showdown. That is why Hearn highlights Joshua's focused camp and confidence, predicting he will overcome Prenga first before eventually defeating Fury in the biggest fight.
In the world.
This must be the first time this story has been told. I'm fascinated to hear this.
If we can't beat Kristian Prenga, we don't deserve to be in a ring with Tyson Fury.
You don't want
yes,
someone
of course,
good.
Everybody's dangerous. This guy, I actually didn't know he was European kickboxing champion. That's given me a massive bum twinge, I'll be honest with you. But this isn't a guy who was a kickboxing world champion who's never boxed before. He's got 20 fights, 20 wins, 20 knockouts. Like, he's an accomplished fighter. Now, just because he's never beaten an elite world level guy, guess what? He's never fought one.
Yeah. Doesn't mean
so we might be bang unlucky, and he might be really, really good. But hopefully, and I believe with what I'm seeing, AJ will go out there and poleaxe this guy. And guess what? Once he does that, he's going to poleaxe Tyson Fury as well.
So, will Joshua and Fury finally give fans the legendary showdown they have been waiting for? Or will more delays ruin the moment? The debate continues, but one thing is certain. Boxing fans are watching every move. Share your prediction in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more boxing updates.